Oh, what's up? Welcome, Screen Fiend fans. Prague is over here, loyal to the soil. John Hogan's my man who always support me on everything. Loyal to the soil. FA in here, loyal to the soil. Look at that. Seventh from Adam. Southeast is on here. Southeast show up over here because he be waiting for that tribute. Now I'm going to show you guys something. As I told you guys, I've had my movie script stolen. Captain America played the lead in my doggone movie. Just an example. This is just an example of stolen movie scripts. Just a few examples right here. It is no knock on the movies. The movies are sometimes great, but the original movie scripts for these films, there's a movie that was made called Cellular. Who remembers Cellular? Starring Captain America. Thanks, Southeast. I appreciate it. Cellular came out. Captain America played in it. Kim Basinger was in the movie. She was kidnapped, put in this place, and she found the phone that they broke in half. And she called somebody, and this is back when cell phones first came out. It was all getting entangled with other people's phones. And Captain America answered the phone, and it's a random woman. She's like, I'm being held in the house. I'm trying to dial 911, but I keep getting you on this phone. Can you call 911? It's like, well, I don't know where you are. And it leads into this crazy, stupid mission that makes no sense. That was all stolen from a movie script I wrote. It was pitched off to other companies so they can do it. But I came up with a movie script that was based, that had that little small premise in the movie script that I wrote. My movie script is so flawless. That is just a minute point in the movie script. I will tell you a little bit about my movie right now that I've written. He said, I remember you telling us about that, and I think I did. But for those who didn't know, I'll tell you a little bit about the movie script right now. The movie starts off with this guy wanting to buy this company, wants to buy this land. They own this piece of property, and it's going to be worth a lot of money, and he can make moves, but his partners won't let him do it. And he knows they won't sell it to him. So what he does is creates another fake company, a fake Japanese company, and said the Japanese are coming to take over. They want to buy it. We can't battle with the Japanese. We should sell it to them. So he convinced his partners to sell out to the Japanese, and not knowing that the person that's behind it all is him. The company is fake. But now he needs to come up with the financial ends to back all of this. So what he does is have somebody go out here and get this counterfeit money and do these deals for him. So he needs to, come up with some cash and make some moves. So he goes out and has his guy go out and do it, and something goes wrong. It turns into a Goonies type situation where someone interferes. This is how old the script is. The script is like about 20 years old when cell phones were new, and then people interfering, and when they were talking on the phone, they interfere and they hear something about where the money was. They found the money. Then it turned into a whole nother story because the guy realized he was not betrayed. He wasn't set up. Something actually happened on the other end where they didn't get the money. So the bad guy goes and tracks down the money from these kids. The kids all said that we got to keep this money a secret, that we're not going to go crazy, we're not going to spend it. But they didn't realize that some of the kids' family, even though they're in a rich area, they families were having some hard time. So he ended up telling his father about it, and this money was going to change the father's life. The father ended up becoming so obsessed, he started taking over the whole mission. We're going to protect this money. Dad started taking over the entire thing. And he was like, "We going with this our money. I don't care who comes claim it. This is ours. We're gonna keep it." Because dad really needed it because dad had some gambling issues. Dad was some messed up. So the family really needed the money. And people didn't know around them didn't know that they had financial problems. So now the dad's involved. So now the guy who's coming to look for the money is an actual killer. He kills for a living. Now you got people that's trying to protect these kids. It became a very serious situation and them trying to avoid the money as he's back in that town looking for that money. And it turned into a whole nother thing. It was very serious. It showed how greed and envy and now, man, it was so laid out perfectly. The fact that they did not make that movie, they took a little piece of my movie and start screwing it up ever since then. I have another film that I wrote. I got like 5, 6 movies completed, wrote to the perfection. One is called Gated Community, where the gated community, actually, this private owned rich community, had their own police, everything. They dictated how everything was going to work. And it was a murder that happened where a boyfriend got mad that he picked his girlfriend up from college and she told him that she was breaking up with him. She had another boyfriend. He stabs her viciously in the car while he's driving. He's just like, "So you leaving me?" And he just gets mad. Wham! Stabs her with a knife in the chest. And when they get to the house, before they go in the gate, she gets out and she dies like right on the outside of the gates. They come and investigate it. The gated community, nobody says nothing. They ain't working with the cops, nothing. No cooperation, nothing. So now you start to find out if they're trying to do this investigation in the town, somebody went undercover to get into the gated community to start like talking to them to see what was actually going on there. And all the secrets, and every house had like a major secret. And then the person that was actually trying to protect, who actually was the killer, was the son. It ended up becoming a whole different type of movie. I written out the entire action scene, the ending, everything. The ending was a rooftop, a woman jumping with a baby in her arms from one house to the next on the roof in the rain, running from a killer with a doggone trench coat. And you know what comes out? A guy with a fisherman hat with a hook called, "I know what you did last summer." I said, "You thieves stole my damn movie." Stole my damn movie and turned it into a ridiculous teen drama. Took my doggone guy in the raincoat hat on top of the. They didn't do that scene, thank God. When she was running with the baby trying to protect the kid and running, and she had to jump. She jumped from that one roof to the other, and it was in the rain. He tried to catch her and kill her, and the doggone. She was in the laundromat doing clothes in the laundry area in the gated community. He came in there and tried to kill. That whole scene I written out flawlessly. The whole action on what happened, how it broke down. I didn't just write the words. That whole scene didn't have words in it. That was just the action scene where she was escaping the killer. Ruined it. Ruined it. My movie. Because I trusted people. I sent scripts to Kel. I sent scripts to a lot of people in Hollywood. Robert, I mean, I sent it to Universal when Kel was at Nickelodeon. Then I sent it to Universal, sent the script to him for that one. Brian Robbins, I sent the script to. I sent the script to a lot of other people, and it went left from there. Nobody really got back to me to explain what happened. Everybody just said, well, that great minds think alike, blah, blah, blah. Written a lot of movies, written a comedy called Bad Acne. I didn't need to tell you where that went. That movie script got turned into a horrible movie. I wrote a movie called Bad Acne, where these two kids, and I wrote it for Kel. Like Kel could have done this movie and everything. Him and Keenan could have did it. It was a goofy kid where they came up. Oh yeah, Kel's a good dude. I knew Kel. So I wrote the script. I wrote the movie script and I said, look, this is what I want to do. I wrote that for them with Keenan and Kel in mind. It's called Bad Acne, with these two kids, goofy kids, working in there trying to invent stuff in science. Keenan and Kel, that's who I had in mind when I wrote it. Come up with a formula that cures acne. I know him, idiot. Just ain't. All right, anyway. All right, so it came up with the thing is they made a lot of money, right? Coming up with this formula that in minutes it cures acne. It's gone. So they were like, "Oh, this is great." Oh, well, I don't know what Saved by the Bell did, but so they come up with this formula. It cures acne immediately. And what happens is they ended up like weeks later, they became rich. They sold the company. They got like $100 million, and then people start feuding over the actual formula. People trying to steal it, replicate it, and everything. So they were partners, and Keenan and Kel end up like having a big fight and splitting up, over ego, and they lost everything in a lawsuit. Once one person who did it had a reaction, and it turned them purple. So they were just completely purple. Like, we're all purple now. So it was just a funny type of script. And in the end, they ended up writing away the formula to this guy who tried to steal it from him. But the formula didn't work because it turned people purple in about a couple of months. So they ended up getting sued for all the money they had. Now they made a movie like that with the same script they stole from me called Envy. And it got Jack Black and I think Steve Carell is in the movie where they come up with an invention that takes dog poop and make it disappear. And then he became super rich. Oh, you talking about Long Kiss Goodnight? Yeah, about 9/11. How they talked about it then. Here's a good movie I bought for $4.99. It's called Lonely Hearts. A lot of you guys probably haven't seen this. I've written this movie. I don't care who in the world put this out. This is a true story that actually happened, and I've written it. I remember this. This is a Lonely Hearts case. A Lonely Hearts case means a woman who's been cheated on and she's lonely and she kills somebody. They consider that a Lonely Hearts investigation. Like, oh, this is a Lonely Hearts case. It's like a heat of the passion moment. It's like, this is how you get off. So it's a Lonely Hearts case. Now, in the Lonely Hearts case, you're seeing a situation in which All of these people are trying to investigate this. I wrote a story just like this, but I based it off a true story that has something to do with a football player named Steve McNair from the Tennessee Titans when he was killed by his mistress and she killed herself. I written it based off that. Lonely Heart. Another movie, Intolerable Cruelty with George Clooney and Catherine Zeta-Jones, based off another script I wrote. A powerful lawyer who becomes fascinated with a client that he sued. But in my story, she wins the case. She beat the lawyer that never been beaten. And he was obsessed with trying to possess her because he couldn't beat her. It happened almost like that. But then she wanted to make him the target because he was so obsessed with beating this woman that he actually gets her involved in another lawsuit and where he's able to get all the money that she got from him. So she set her sights on taking him down. Same way. Same way. Stolen scripts. You know how many damn movies I done written? Think I just watch them? Match Point. Woody Allen. Now, this could be a great minds think alike. This is a case of a married man messing around with a mistress who happens to be Scarlett Johansson. And she's thinking he's going to leave his wife and come to him. And he's a very powerful figure. And he cannot have this blow up his situation and mess him up in life. He's got a good thing going on. He's a poor tennis player hanging around a rich woman who he's going to marry. And, he's going to be into money. But he loves Scarlett Johansson. But she like, I want to be with you. And you don't love that woman, you got to be with me. I've written that. I've written that story. But my story goes like this. Rich, powerful woman seduces the poor guy, separates him from the girl he was dating with her seduction, her money, her power, her influence. And she makes the guy marry her because she wanted him. And she said she was going to get him. So she did. And now the other girl who's obsessed with getting revenge on that woman tries to come up with a way to kill her, to get her man and free her man so she could be happy. Story kind of takes the same twist, but some things happen. And if you got to watch Match Point in order to see what happens. Here's another one, Chasing Poppy. A lot of you probably never heard of this film. It's mostly a Spanish movie, Chasing Poppy. Where you've seen this done in the American version recently with Cameron Diaz as the lead, called The Other Woman. That's Chasing Poppy. This has been done 1,000 times over. I said, well, I will write a romantic comedy, funny, with the Playboy in the middle playing all these women, and the women get together to plot revenge. Wrote basically the same exact movie. You could sue and you will lose. And I will tell you why all of this happened in just a moment. Closer. It's a very intriguing, twisting puzzle. Very well written. It's a very good movie. Now, I've written something very similar to this, and it was a thriller that I wanted to make that was basically a Euro type film. This one dealt with a lot of entanglements of finding out who's lying, who's telling the truth. Is everybody lying? Everybody's trying to keep some insurance money away from the other person and lying about how they got their monies. And then things started to happen once somebody comes up dead. It's a mystery. I still might put it out, but it's mostly European style of writing. For you guys who don't understand, there's a difference. European style of writing is very sharp. They get right, it's kind of fast. So if you don't catch it, it's not slowed down like American style. So some of you can get it, some of you won't. Americans might find it boring. And if you need to know what I mean, watch this and you'll get it. Like Stock Barrel, exactly. If you watch Two Lock, Stock Barrel, or any Guy Ritchie film, you'll understand what I'm saying. Two Ninas. I wrote this before, another love triangle. This is based off a situation that happened in one of my hood stories. I said I could make a movie about this, and I basically did. Now, this one was completely ripped off from my script, and it got shipped over to Lionsgate, and I don't know how they got it. This is almost word for word my script. This the one I could probably see for, but it didn't make any damn money, so there it is. I wrote it because I got robbed of it. I'm gonna tell you why. This is another one I wrote, based in Louisiana too, because one of my favorite movies is The Hustler and Color of Money pool movies, and I was like, man, we need more pool hall movies because there's not a lot of pool halls left, but people still play pool. So pool hustlers and the way hustling used to go back then, this was the movie I had. Somebody who came in, a young guy, a hustler, came down to take in the big guy. This was my film. Another one that was taken. These are all samples of movies that I have written. Mine was a loner, a drifter came in. He wasn't trying to investigate. They did a good job with this one. They made it like a murder mystery. He's in there investigating. He was in town to try to get a local game, somebody to teach him how to play pool. Come to find out, he was a great pool player the whole time. And the whole time he was trying to be trained, this is my story, of course. The whole time he was trying to be trained, he was just trying to lure the big guy out, the big shark, into a all money out tournament. He had all his money saved, all that stuff he had was all a ruse. And in the end, he didn't even need none of the training. He was there to take down the big fish. Everything was revealed at the end. And how I know they stole my script? At the end, they took the very important part of this movie, and I'm going to ruin this movie for you. This guy here, Freddie Priest Jr., who played a great role in this thing, switches from right hand to left. The whole time he was left handed, and he was playing right handed, and he was good right handed. But he was truly, unbelievably, and unstoppable. And his true form and his true game was from the southpaw stance as a lefty. And he took down the king. And when the king said, he was like, oh, you don't got no more game. I got you all clocked. He switches to lefty and says, now I'm going to show you my game. Everything was on the line. He said, now you get to see my game. And he switches from right hand to left hand and it throws him off. They did the exact same thing in this movie. That's how I knew they ripped it off from my script. Now, how did this happen? because I was not protected. I did not copy, I did not trademark my work. I didn't do it the right way. I was young. To see these movies came out later in life because they came from stolen scripts. I was sending scripts out, hoping, like, thinking like somebody would write me back and say, "Hey, we like it." And I got emails going way back. This stuff was done 20 some years ago, and they've come out over the period of time of years. Like some come out in 2000, 2001. Well, they got that from Rocky too. Rocky 2, Rocky had to switch to fight conventional to protect his eye. So that's where Never Back Down 2 got that from. They stole that just straight out the Rocky script. But they had to do that in real life in Rocky 2 because Sylvester Stallone tore his rotator cuff. So they wrote it in the script to protect Rocky's eye. He had to switch conventional. But no, he had an injury. Now remember Sylvester Stallone used to have all that weird stuff up here? He had to have surgery. That's why all this that weird veins and all that stuff was from. That's a Rocky 2 secret. And Never Back Down was stolen. That's a stolen script from the Karate Kid. That was just on cable the other day. But that's the Karate Kid. Even no, because even trademark work gets stolen. People could take pieces of your script that they like and make it something of their own and say, well, that's not technically his. We technically didn't use that. We did something else. See, that's how they get around it. There's plenty of movies, dude. I have written about 14 movies. I got short stories I've written. I've done a lot. And this was back then. See, this is back before Facebook, the internet, anything past 2005. I was doing, I told you, though, I got the hard disk, scripts on hard disk. I got to go find those hard disks now. So that's what we talking about. These are old, back when people used to write, and I used to sit there and type, getting all this stuff done. But because you guys are cool and you guys support my page and you come here and support Screen Thing, today I'm gonna give you a gift. Y'all get a gift today to the fastest guys out there who all got digital. The first Avengers movie on 4K Blu-ray DVD. You want the digital code to own it? Here you go. This is the digital code for the first Avengers movie. I'm giving it to you for free. You download that, you own the movie. For donating to my page and always supporting the page, if you got movies anywhere, that's all you got. If you got the digital app, whoever downloads it first, you got it. Now that goes to whoever downloads it first. So was somebody successful? Did they already get it? Somebody said they already grabbed it. If I have a movie to produce, I want to produce it myself. And it'd be one of mine. Somebody said they got it. Okay, Mr. Quick. Here is the Age of Ultron code. You get 2 movies. 2 movies from me. There it is. Somebody got swiped. Now, y'all just got Avengers 1 and 2 from me. And we'll do others at another time. But that's why you donate to the page and get stuff back. Love, peace.